Good morning, Days. Look, she's saying hi to you guys. I just walked out here and she's so excited. She was in her little pen in her little house. Look, her tail's wagging. Say hi to them, Days. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I wanted to show you some of the cards for this week and some vocabulary words. So I'm walking out here to my little flower garden. And I am loving the videos that you guys are sending. Keep them coming. They keep Miss Orlando and I so happy. So my flowers are growing a little bit. It needs to have some hot sun on them. Maybe they'll grow more, but there are some buds on my rose bush. And they are blooming, and we are so excited about that. I love flowers. So they are growing just like you guys are, and the more you read, the more you're growing and the more your brain is getting so smart. Just like these blooms are gonna grow into make great big roses. That's how you guys are. That reminds me of you. So let me go to the table and I'm gonna show you these cards. Just doing this with you guys. So our story this week, Young Frank Architect. Fun story. And you guys are so creative. I think of those cups that you built for Inside Playtime that day and the creation that you made and how fun it was to make it all fall. So in this story, we'll see some words. I bet you guys know this word, floor. Like in a big story building, there's different floors. This would be we could count the floors by the windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 9-story building, but each one would be called a floor. Straight, that's an easy one. We've talked about that with Miss Orlando in math. The straight lines and how many straight lines on each shape. And so we could take this word apart. That part reminds us of B, but it has a D. Designed. Designed. So they designed a big poster board. Hope you guys are getting to design something while you're home. Whole. And that goes along with your fraction study in math. Look at that whole sandwich. But if we were together, we could divide it into half. And this is real. There's a real doggy in the middle of these stuffed animals. And in this story, you're also going to see the word model. This girl has made a model of the universe, of the planets in the solar system for her science project, I bet. So a model. So in this story, Young Frank Architect, he is going to go on an adventure. And I would love to read it to you guys. It's by Frank Viva. And if you have your book, you can read along with me. I know I'm not showing my face, but for this video, I'm just going to read. Young Frank's apartment is on the top floor of this tall building. He is an architect. He lives with his spotted dog, Eddie, and his grandpa, Old Frank, who is also an architect. Young Frank makes things. He uses anything he can get his hands on. Macaroni, books, dishes, spoons, dogs, not Eddie. Yes, even Eddie, but only sometimes. One morning, young Frank made a chair using toilet paper rolls. Said Old Frank, I don't think architects make chairs, and you can't really sit in this one, can you? I guess not, said young Frank. Look what he made out of toilet paper rolls. He also made a skyscraper out of books. Buildings should be straight, said old Frank, and not twisted and wiggly. Hey, are those my books? Just before lunch, young Frank designed a whole city. Said old Frank. Cities are made one building at a time and take hundreds of years. So an architect has to make plans. Look, reminds me of Days. Look, she's listening to our story. At lunch, young Frank said, Grandpa, I'm not sure I want to be an architect anymore. Said old Frank. I know. Let's go to the museum. I think it will be very good for you to see the work of some real architects, don't you? So this is making me have a connection with the story, because when we went as a group to the museum, we saw all kinds of creations that architects had made. So good readers make connections with their stories, and that just makes me think of you fondly. Glad we got to do that together. I haven't been to the museum in years and years, said old Frank. Me either, said young Frank. Look, that looks like Richmond with the tall buildings and all the different floors. They saw lots of things, including a wiggly chair designed by an architect named Frank. Old Frank looked at it sideways. A twisted tower by an architect named Frank. Old Frank cleaned his glasses. They also saw a giant model of a whole city designed by another architect named Frank. Are all architects named Frank? Asked young Frank. I don't think so, said old Frank. When they got home, old Frank said, architects really do make chairs and twisted towers and cities too. I guess I was wrong. That's okay, Grandpa, said young Frank. Even I don't know some things. That evening, young Frank and old Frank made chairs with zigzags, chairs with crazy legs, and a little chair that was perfect for Eddie. They made buildings of every shape and size. Tall ones, fat ones, round ones, and one made from chocolate chip cookies. Whoa, I know this is giving you guys a good ideas. Your mamas are probably going to be like, woo. Eddie, don't eat the library, said young Frank, and please get back on your chair. When they were done, they had a whole city. Woof, said Eddie. Shh, Eddie, said young Frank. Stay until I tell you. Good boy. Later that night, when young Frank was tucked in his bed, he felt a bit older, like a real architect. For his part, old Frank felt younger and a little wiser. Woof, said Eddie. The end. Now, you get to retell this story in your own words, telling the main events from the beginning, middle, and end. And you can go back to the story to help you. Good readers can also retell what they read. And then it says to describe the different kinds of things architects do. I hope you enjoyed that video with little president guy. He was so cute with talking about the inventors, and maybe that'll give you some ideas. So I miss you guys bunches, and I hope you enjoyed the story for this week, and the fun things you'll get to write about. So we read it every day. Good readers read all the time. Good readers get better by reading. So you have a great one. Take care.